Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed.
The shock and tragedy at Utah Valley University has now taken a dramatic turn. The FBI has confirmed that the suspected shooter is 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Arrested late last night after an intense manhunt, Robinson was identified through surveillance, digital trails, and even disturbing Discord messages he allegedly said before the attack. Just moments before the chaos, Charlie Kirk answered what would tragically become his last question. Counting or not counting gang violence? That clip has gone viral, now intertwined with this investigation. Officials revealed Robinson was tracked after a family member raised suspicions leading to his capture. Bullet casings with chilling inscriptions were recovered at the scene, suggesting intent far beyond impulse. For millions still replaying Kirk's haunting final words.
Hello. Oh.
Be respectful, guys. He can do what he wants.
Oh, can I start now? Oh. Nice to meet you, Charlie. I'm a bit...
After hours of speculation, Utah authorities finally revealed how Tyler Robinson was caught. According to officials, Robinson tried to flee the state in a stolen pickup truck, but advanced license plate scanners and FBI surveillance drones tracked his movements in real time. He was cornered at a gas station just outside Prover, where he surrendered without resistance. Witnesses described him looking dazed, almost detached from reality, as heavily armed tactical teams swarmed in. Investigators say Robinson had already wiped his phone, burned notes, and deleted online accounts, signs that this act was premeditated. What's chilling is that neighbors now recall him ranting online about political cleansing just weeks before the shooting. Those posts, paired with his digital fingerprints, became the roadmap to his capture. The arrest has brought relief to Utah Valley University students, but the shock lingers.
The incident. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th.
Inside the FBI briefing today, officials painted a disturbing picture of Tyler Robinson's mindset. Agents revealed he had studied past high-profile attacks, keeping a hidden folder on his laptop filled with sniper manuals, ballistic calculations, and screenshots of political events. The eerie part? Robinson had searched how to silence a rifle at long range just 48 hours before the tragedy. His motive, however, remains tangled. Investigators are examining whether he acted out of extremist ideology or personal grievance. Friends from his high school years describe him as quiet, often isolated, and increasingly obsessed with conspiracy theories. But what really startled agents was the discovery of a manifesto draft found on his hard drive, a rambling document laced with anger toward conservative leaders.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had.
More chilling details emerged today when law enforcement confirmed that Tyler Robinson positioned himself on the rooftop hours before Charlie Kirk's event even began. Carrying a duffel bag filled with tactical gear, he blended in with construction workers earlier that morning to avoid suspicion. Sources say Robinson scoped the area for days, even testing his rifle's line of sight during campus quiet hours. The precision of his setup has left investigators alarmed at how much planning went unnoticed. FBI analysts now warn that Robinson's tactics resembled military sniper strategies, even though he had no formal training. Ballistic experts believe he spent months practicing with rented weapons in remote Utah deserts, slowly perfecting his aim. The revelation that a young man could orchestrate such a calculated strike without detection has raised uncomfortable questions about campus security, surveillance gaps, and how someone with no prior criminal record—
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here, and maybe a little bit of where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today.
In the aftermath of Robinson's arrest, political leaders across America are weighing in. President Trump released another message on Truth Social, calling the attack a dark act of domestic terrorism and vowing Robinson will face the harshest punishment possible. Democrats, too, condemned the shooting, with Hakeem Jeffries warning that political violence is tearing the country apart. Meanwhile, Governor Spencer Cox of Utah repeated his earlier statement, labeling this tragedy as a direct political targeting. What's striking is how quickly this case has reignited debates about free speech, political rallies, and gun control. Critics argue that heated rhetoric on both sides is fueling a dangerous climate. Robinson's own online history appears filled with echoes of that toxic discourse. For Kirk's supporters, the arrest is bittersweet.
I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country, and violence is tragic everywhere. And every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. This is certainly about the tragic death, political assassination of Charlie Kirk. But it is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals.
Forensic experts gave chilling updates on the weapon used by Tyler Robinson. The sniper rifle, traced back to an illegal online purchase, had been modified with a high-grade suppressor and scope worth thousands of dollars. Agents revealed the gun was stashed in a false compartment inside Robinson's vehicle, alongside extra ammunition and tactical maps of multiple venues, not just Utah Valley University. This discovery has sparked fears that Kirk may not have been Robinson's only target. Investigators are now retracing Robinson's travel history, combing through hotel records, gas receipts, and surveillance tapes to determine if he scouted other locations. The FBI's counterterrorism unit is treating this as part of a broader threat, not an isolated attack. Sources inside the Bureau say the working theory is chilling. Robinson wanted to strike symbolic figures one by one.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him.
Students who witnessed the chaos are still shaken, and their voices are now shaping the national conversation. Many describe the terrifying moment when Charlie Kirk collapsed, blood visible, as the crowd erupted in panic. Some said they froze in disbelief. Others sprinted for cover as screens filled the air. Videos from dozens of phones, now viral on social media, show different angles of that exact instant. One clip even captures Robinson's silhouette on the rooftop. Seconds before he fired, a detail authorities later confirmed. Survivors are calling for stronger protections at public events, with some saying they'll never feel safe on campus again. Mental health counselors have flooded Utah Valley University, offering trauma support. This wasn't just an attack on one man. It scarred an entire generation of students.
Kirk had supporters across the United States, including right here in our region. 13 News reporter Lane Ball spoke with people who agreed and disagreed with his opinions tonight. And while they may have different political views, they're coming together in agreement that none of this should have happened.
Americans are still trying to process what happened on stage at a college in Utah.
I think it's pretty devastating. I didn't know what to say. I was kind of lost and confused.
Distraught mainly because something like this is still happening.
My condolences and prayers go out to his family.
Behind the headlines, the human toll is impossible to ignore. Charlie Kirk leaves behind his wife and 2 young children, now thrust into the harsh glare of public grief. Friends describe him as fiercely dedicated to his family, even amid the pressures of national politics. In Washington, his allies gathered in silence, many visibly shaken as they remembered his role in mobilizing young conservatives. Turning Point USA, the organization Kirk co-founded, announced it will hold a nationwide vigil to honor his legacy. Supporters are flooding social media with tributes, some sharing old speeches where Kirk spoke about faith, resilience, and standing firm in the face of adversity. For his followers, his voice may be silenced, but his influence is far from gone. In their words, the movement will carry forward his mission, now marked by sacrifice.
Of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times. Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the very act that Charlie championed,
the case of Tyler Robinson has now shifted into its next phase, federal prosecution. Legal experts predict he will face multiple charges, from first-degree murder to domestic terrorism, ensuring he may never walk free again. Already, prosecutors are signaling they will seek the maximum penalty available. Court documents reveal Robinson showed no remorse during initial questioning, allegedly telling agents he wanted to make a statement to the nation. The FBI is continuing to map out Robinson's network, probing whether others encouraged or even financed his actions. While no evidence of a larger conspiracy has surfaced yet, investigators remain cautious. For Americans watching closely, the trial will become a landmark moment, testing not just the justice system, but the nation's resolve against political violence. Each revelation, each court hearing will be scrutinized worldwide. As this chapter closes, America is left with grief, anger, and reflection. Charlie Kirk's voice, once heard by millions, has been silenced, but his influence continues to echo through the movement he built. For his family, the loss is immeasurable. 2 children without their father, a wife now carrying the weight of tragedy, and a community mourning alongside them. Across the nation, flags fly at half-staff, while ordinary citizens light candles, post tributes, and wrestle with the unsettling truth. Political violence is no longer a distant fear, but a present reality. Yet, in the face of sorrow, there is resilience. Americans are uniting, calling for peace, for dialogue, for an end to the bloodshed. As we remember Charlie Kirk, may his story be a turning point, a wake-up call for unity. If you stand against violence, share this story, honor his legacy, and help keep his message alive.